Alright everyone, welcome back to Florida Racing. We are here at beautiful Circuit of the Americas for the Chevrolet Grand Prix. So we got the Aston Martin here and we are heading out to the track. Gonna get our qualifying time put in here in a 10-minute session or so, and we will see what we can do. But we had a really good lap in practice. We were trying it off with the soft tires. More than likely going to be using hard tires for the entirety of the race, so we're going to try and qualify in here with the hard tires, get those all nice and warmed up here as sun starts to go down here at Circuit of the Americas. Beautiful racetrack. We're not running the full circuit, we are running the shortened circuit, much like the version the NASCAR Cup Series raced on. And it should be quite a lot of fun in my opinion. Beautiful sunset going on right now, looking absolutely beautiful. Got everybody out here slowly working on getting around. We'll have to see what everybody can do qualifying wise. Got the NMP2s, GTD Pros, and GTD cars here for the race. No GTP cars, so that's going to make things rather interesting. And hopefully we figured out whatever our speed issue was in practice. We looked like we had quite a bit of speed. So we're going to find out that hopefully we have the same amount of speed we had during practice as we head into qualifying here. The Circuit of the Americas. And the Chevrolet Grand Prix. Right, this car. We're running here, got the Audi R8 right there in front of us. Try and undercut him here and get past, because we're going to be stuck behind him quite a bit, I think. I think he's GT3. I don't think he's a GTD car. More styled-wise. That's how they separate here in Project Cars 2. So continuing to like what I'm seeing from the Project Motor Racing. Be interesting to see what all happens with that game. If you guys haven't checked that out, make sure you look up that video. Should be in the suggestions either below or around the video. Also, I did a new video on NASCAR 25, just talking about some different things that could be in the game, or we haven't heard about in the game, or haven't seen anything in the game. So 5 different features that could possibly be there. So interesting stuff. Make sure you check that out. I'm going to be a little bit slow this lap. Need to get into a good groove here. We're also running hard tires compared to our soft tires that we were running. Ooh, getting a lot of speed through here. That's interesting. Ooh, rear end kind of slipped out. Alrighty, we're going to need to see what's going on with that, but rear tire is not too happy. Good to know. Let's see what kind of lap time we put down. We are currently faster than the GT3 class, as should be, so currently holding the pole for the GTD class here. Alright, looks like we started off this lap a little bit faster. That's good. That's what we want to see. If we want to see if we can put down a faster lap time, yeah, we're like several hundredths a second behind the NMP2 guys, which is to be expected, honestly. This is a fun course. Really do like this one. Always have liked Circuit Americas. It's just taken me so long to really figure out the groove of the track. And this is a slightly different version than the one I'm used to with like F1. Yeah, we're going to gain a whole second here, it looks like. Potentially. Maybe not. Oop, yep, definitely not with that entry. That was awful. Sun going down makes things look a little bit different than what I'm used to, so we're going to have to get used to that here. The car feels good, feels fast, and by the lap times I'm seeing on the board, we should be pretty good. Everyone else probably not having the best amount of time to warm up. So that's interesting. Ooh, the NMP2 guys really improved their time there, as the track temp is going to be going down with the sun here. And we're going to knock off about a second and a half, if not maybe 2. Nope, just a second and a half, I'll say. Just around there. There we go. That improved the time pretty good. Yeah, you see everybody improving their time as the sun goes down. That is helping out the temperatures, that's for sure. I forgot how good this place looks at night. It looks pretty cool. Ooh, a little loose here. Time's starting to fall off a little bit. So not going to be as fast as that last run for sure. But yeah, I think this will be a fun track. Nice and short, so pretty quick. I think we've got an extra teammate for Florida Racing here in one of the Aston Martins. I think we got another guy out here. I will have to double check that. But I believe we do. And fastest lap set by Lucas Britz and the LMP2 guys. So let's see what we can do on the long run, that's for sure. Oh yeah, the LMP2 guys really got a faster lap time going there. So everybody's lap time should really start improving here. Oops, excuse me. Coming in. I think that's about the best lap time we're going to get for our race tomorrow. So I think we'll wrap that, put a little less wear on the car. But it's definitely a decent lap time. I think we'll bring it back to the pit road this time by. Alrighty, here we are, guys. Circuit of the Americas, the Chevrolet Grand Prix. Everybody making the turn around the track here. Everybody getting lined up. And off we go. Ooh, getting a nice little jump there from the 37 on the side. Ooh, trying not to pile it in, and we piled it in nonetheless. NP2 guys, they just totally stopped there. Definitely didn't have enough brake. Oh, good night. Getting hit all over the place. That car is definitely different as the tires already warmed up from the warm-up laps, so feeling a little bit different here in the heat, so we've got to get used to that, get the tires worn in. Okay, we're all running the hard, so that's going to be good. The LMP2 guys should stop pulling away from us here in the next few laps or so. A little front nose damage right off the bat, so that's not going to help us out with the aero. Wait and see how everything transpires here. Yeah, tires are definitely driving a lot different from the warm-up here in the heat. Ooh, boy, yeah. A lot different in the heat here. A lot of funny handling going on with the car at the moment. But we still got a good amount of speed, so I think that should work for us pretty good. Just the field right back there. There you go, the NP2 guys taking off finally. Nice easy into the turn here, there we go. Go ahead and start the wide arc. Get ourselves going here. So yeah, we're getting like the front tires really sticky, kind of making the rear tires kind of actually come off the ground at the moment. Which I have seen and have felt before, but just a little bit extra, extra sticky compared to what we were feeling during practice and qualifying. So not a nice even warm-up like we're used to, so changing up things. So temperatures should adjust here as we're getting around the signs. There we go. And we should start feeling, hopefully, a balancing out of the tires here in the future. Yeah, it looks like tire pressure's starting to even out just a tad. Yeah, that was definitely a different feel, that's for sure. Good, 6 seconds faster than what we have been running previous laps, so that's going to be good. NMP2 guys pulling away. And we're currently leading the field here. Very get in this corner. There we go. Hopefully not have any mechanical issues. We have 213 on the car already. It's definitely a hot track. So any off throttle time that we can have to kind of let the car cool off a little bit probably won't be the worst idea. Keep it nice and easy around the track and not trying to kill itself. It'll be helpful. Off throttle through here. Also save ourselves fuel, which I think we should have plenty of for this entire race. Ooh, boy. Rear end came out from underneath the car there over those bumps. And luckily the GTD field isn't going away from behind me. They're still decently close. Definitely not the racing we saw like Laguna Seca. That was some good racing there with that Corvette. Tried to mess around with some settings from the Watkins Glen race, and not sure what the difference is that we're having, but they were just, I don't know. Either the AI were just like crazy on steroids, or I'm not sure what was happening there, but there was just no speed in this car for sure. They're trying to even out and equalize everything so we have competitive racing, and I think we've gone back the other way to a little bit better at the moment. Isn't bad, but I would like them to be up here challenging me a little bit more, so I need to work on that a bit. But I mean, I'm not pulling away that much, so they're still sitting there pretty good. Ooh, nice lap time there. So that was a fast lap, and yeah, I'm not really pulling away from them that badly. So okay, that's not terrible performance, but I do want them to be competitive and actually try to beat me as much as they can, and not have to rely on me being dumb and wrecking myself to try and pass me. Because I don't mind winning all the time, but that's not realistic. I do like realism as much as I can get stuff to be close to it. So we'll continue to work on that as we continue. And that's one of the things you can't fine-tune stuff and figure out unless you do. So luckily, that's what we set out to do this year, and that was get almost every single IMSA race that we can in on the schedule. Even though we have to do some substitutions, as actually this is supposed to be in Canada, and we're here in Texas. But it's actually a pretty similar setup to the track, honestly. It's about the same length and shape. Obviously different, but kind of similar in many ways. So that's why I selected this, obviously, in America. So that works out even better. Yeah, we don't have Canadian Tire in here, which would be fun. We do have Second of the Americas, and I do like this track, so there we go. I'm currently on lap 5 here at Circuit of the Americas. And we're going to go wide to the sign. Temperatures obviously got it set to July temperature. I forgot exactly what the temperature was on track, but I knew it was warm and sticky. Definitely know that. And luckily the tires have evened out. Yeah, they've evened out on the pressure a lot better. Car doesn't feel as unstable, so that's good. See a lot of wear on that right rear tire. I do like to lean on that a little bit more with the setups. Try to have a bit more of a loose setup where I'm leaning on the rear tires more than I am on the front. And that's just because I tend to dive into corners quite a bit. And so that way I'm not wearing out the front tires as much, can really get that added grip from the rear tire accelerating to try and help me make the turn a little bit better without putting a ton of wear and tear on the fronts, which allows me to have, hopefully, in theory, longer life of the front tires for more grip throughout. Especially with multiple turns, it's nice to have that feature on there. So in theory it works out really good. Real world, not so sure. But I definitely enjoy racing that style in The Sims. And so that's how we'll continue to do it. for the moment. I definitely enjoy the style anyways. Being able to have the rear end kind of stepping out just a little bit. Kind of found that with the NASCAR heat game, especially at Bristol, where you really need to be able to turn a lot really good. If you can have that right rear tire ever so slightly stepping out on you and being able to really use that tire up, you can really get around that place quite quickly. And you save quite a bit on your steering tires, which is really, really nice. Also, the car just seems to have a better balance that way. The only drawback from that is as you use up more tire, the car does become a little bit looser throughout the run, and you can lose grip overall. But when it comes to just trying to run the lap times, it's really nice for consistency for the majority of the run. It's at like the very, very end of the run where you really start losing grip typically for that, and just, I don't know, I enjoy the style. It looks out really, really good. Man, I love how this racetrack looks. This is just such a awesome looking racetrack. So I don't remember if NASCAR has this track back for next year. I hope they do. It is just, this is like one of the most iconic looking racetracks ever. I wish they would bring back the longer version of the track myself, because that is just absolutely incredible watching all of the cars race up this hill here, and then the different aerial shots of all the cars on the track. Is just such a cool racetrack for sure. Just absolutely love this racetrack. Very neat facility. Yeah, tires, we're keeping the tire temp pretty even, so we're not really overheating one tire or the other. You can see a little bit as we go through more of the technical areas. The rear tires start getting a little bit more on the light yellowish green color, but really doing a really good job keeping the tires nice and balanced on the wear and tear. And luckily we did go with the hard tires for the 30-minute stint. That's definitely what we needed. Car's doing really good. I'm actually gaining some time here on this lap, so not sure. Oh yeah, I think we're starting to get a little bit of cloud cover here, so that's probably going to help us out with track temps improving, which could also improve the performance of our competitors some as well, so we need to keep on top of it. But yeah, I think we're getting a little more cloud cover coming into the racetrack, which, as I said, going to help us out with a little bit better track temp, which leads to better grip overall. I like that. We got plenty of fuel in the tank, so we're not running out of fuel in this race. That's a good thing. Yep, good another sign. Went over the bump a little bit too aggressively and just lost grip there. Had to turn it extra wide. Trying to be nice and off acceleration, just kind of let the car go through the top corner there in turn one, but not that time. Too aggressive. And be able to kind of shortcut the course there a little bit through there definitely helps us pick up quite a bit of speed through that section right there. And then this section through here, this is always one of my favorite sections in the F1 game, just because you can get in and outside of the cars and be able to really battle back and forth side by side really, really well. So usually my best ability at a passing zone is people messing up through this section, so really, really good. And typically the car loads up in those in the F1 really, really good too. So just it's a really fun section to run through at speed, trying not to spin the car out. We're gonna go wide. Yep. Get back on track. So what do you guys think about the new Project Motor Racing game and the NASCAR 25? What do you guys think about those games? I'm thinking they should be pretty good, hopefully. Definitely a little bit on the wait and see, a little more on the NASCAR game. I think it should be good, but just like, that's what I thought with NASCAR ignition from a lot of people too. So yeah, I'm just not really wanting to go all in on it quite yet, but hoping it's going to be really good. But we're going to have to wait and see. Sounds like there's a lot of cool features. Obviously, all the cars, all the series, all the tracks with the series. That's going to be neat. But yeah, just like, wait and see what all the game entails here. Hopefully, once we get, hopefully get some gameplay. Have to wait and see. And Project Motor Racing, that game I like too. That one looks really neat. So definitely want to see how that one does. Depending on what game releases, might wait off on one or the other. Probably more Project Motor Racing would be the one waiting to get, but definitely be getting the NASCAR game if it actually looks like it's going to be decently good. Which I do believe it's going to be, but once again I have to guard myself against disappointment. Just because of the last game. Project Motor Racing, there's definitely a few people in there that I know that I've listened to and stuff that have a good amount of experience, so I think that game should be good once it releases. Also, one thing that I'm really intrigued about, which I think I've mentioned before, is it's got the Giants engine that they're running off of, and so if you get people modding in cars, modding in tracks, I think that could make things very interesting down the road. Obviously, probably modded paint schemes potentially in the game as well, but there's definitely a good market if they do indeed really delve into that mod friendliness of the Giants engine. Being able to mod in different cars and tracks, that would be really cool, especially the car aspect. It seems like they're probably going to add tracks themselves as the game goes on. But being able to have modders being able to bring in their own cars and stuff, that would definitely be pretty neat. So definitely a interesting game for possibilities, and definitely something I'm going to be keeping an eyeball on. As just with how I've watched how the games react and stuff, it kind of looks similar to Project Cars 2. Just similar handling, physics and stuff. It looks similar to that. One thing that I did notice, obviously, was still far out from when the game releases, which is going to be in November. But it does look rather interesting in the fact that in one of the trailers that I watched, he had a car doing a burnout and there were no tire marks on the ground. So probably that's going to get fixed, I would imagine. Be able to lay down rubber, because that's part of racing is having rubber laid down on the track. So if you're doing a burnout, I'm going to assume that they're going to have tire marks ending up on the asphalt when you're doing that. But just something to keep an eyeball on as always. Just noticing that in the trailers, like, that's a little weird. Yeah, so just took a quick water break and noticed the track temp is 145. That's a hot track. So yeah, that's why you're seeing yellow on my rear tires, as I'm really pushing the issue with those. That's why the temperature on those is warm, because we got a 145 degree track here. I think the ambient temperature is like 92. Another reason why we're seeing about 226 temperature, 28 degrees in the engine, so that stuff's warm as well. But yeah, it's a hot track, that is for sure. 145, I would hate to, man, yeah. You feel it. You can really feel it when it's that hot and it's radiating off of the asphalt. Man, it is. That is warm. Not recommended. That is, man, that's hot stuff. Yep. So unless you're putting in enough liquid, definitely don't be hanging around the asphalt at that temperature, because that stuff, that'll burn you. Burn you out mostly, but that's not a fun surface to be around when it's that temperature. We recently just had temperatures like 105 in the comfort zone here in Florida, and so I know I had to put in extra electrolytes because I was sweating everything out, and had some cramping going on too. So it will catch you really quick. So just gotta make sure you're putting in the definitely water, but you definitely want to get those electrolytes in there. Get some sodium, some salt in. Definitely got to get those electrolytes back into the body though. So making sure you're evening out the water consumption with something with electrolytes, always a good idea. Just to make sure, because dehydration, heat stroke, all of that, not a joke. I don't want to say that I've ever experienced heat stroke. Might have, not actually known it, but I definitely have been dehydrated, and not catching that soon enough, that is not pleasant. That is not something you want to do. So you want to really keep an eyeball on that, and especially the day after, you want to make sure you're putting the liquids back in. Always a smart idea. So hydration, it's very important. By the way, if you guys want to check out the Combustion Gamer gear, I do have cups and mugs and stuff that you can use to put some of that hydration back in. So didn't even really plan that one, just was like, man, talking about hydration. Well, I do have cups and stuff, so if you guys want to check that out, it is in the store in the description below. Helps out the channel a whole lot. If you guys made it this far in the video, thank you so much for watching. It means a lot. We're getting close to 10 minutes here at Circuit of the America. You can see the lap times there. Not doing too bad, all things considered. Continuing to lead our group here, 11th overall. Car is definitely fast, feels really good. Got plenty of speed, handling's nice as well. As the tires heat up, definitely feeling a little bit on the slip and sliding side as the tires continue to wear and also heat up with the track temp of 145. Cloud cover has actually gone away there, so that's switching things up. That's going to make this track really warm, which is going to change up a lot of people's strategy. Haven't seen anybody come down pit road, so I don't think fuel tires are really that much of an issue. LMP2 guys, they typically do have a bit more issues with the tires, so they might be coming down, but I think the rest of the GTD guys, I believe we're all going to be fine on that. Yeah, fuel looking really good right now on the car, so that should not be an issue at all for us. Ooh, kind of loose. I'm trying to do a few more coasting sections on the track, kind of help save the tires and also cool the engine just a little bit, not putting it through its paces as much. Trying to keep a nice grip on that. Able to keep up the times, but helping the car be able to cool off just a little bit with some more off-throttle time. We got quite a gap to the car behind, so no need to push the car within an inch of its life as much. Nice and easy around there. So we can really let the car kind of relax a little bit. We've got a nice gap. Car's handling quite well. Do some short shifting here. Don't get it all the way up to the RPMs. Luckily, we haven't had any weird brake temperatures as well. All the brake temperatures seem to be nice and even. A little bit high there in the 200s, which is a little bit more than normal. Mid 200s, not the 200s. They're up there quite a lot actually, but mid 200s sitting. That's a little bit different. Being nice and easy with the cars. We're coming down to the last few minutes. Luckily, with the higher temps on the engines, we haven't seen any engine damage pop up yet, so that's good. Everyone we want to see. Going off into the dirt here a little bit. Should have used a little more brake there. A little bit more brake would have been helpful. But yeah, this is a fun track. I do like it. You can get into a really good groove with it, which makes it so much fun. Ooh, got some cooler brake temps there. That's interesting. Break it down here. Once you get into a good groove on this track, it's a fun track to run time and time again. Not really as fast and as easy as Watkins Glen. Watkins Glen is definitely one of the easier ones. Fast paced though, so you got to make sure you have a good handling car for braking zones. But Watkins Glen is definitely one of the better tracks in my opinion to take a car and you can really limit mistakes as a driver each lap, because you can just see it's like, oop, that's where I messed that up, oop, that's where I messed that up. This is just fewer zones with which to mess up, so you can really kind of get into a really good groove on that track and learn from any mistakes you have on that circuit, because there's just so few areas to really mess up. So it really helps you to learn the circuit quick and be able to figure out what's going on with the car. And it's also fast, which makes it fun. Fast road course. There we go, not bad brake. A little wide, not too bad. We got a little bit of green on the timer right now. Not sure what that gearing was, that was weird. A little bit of damage on the engine now. So that's unfortunate. A little bit too tight on that corner, made us slip and slide a little bit too much. And here we come to 5 minutes remaining here. We got, looks like we might be catching some of the really slow GTD traffic, potentially. Haven't seen any of the LMP2 guys. They have not made it back to us as of yet. So I have to wait around and see what they're doing. We have put a nice gap on our field, really continuing to push pretty good here, and continuing to keep the car in a relative straight line and on track without many issues. Yeah, tire wear nice and even, brake temperatures have been pretty nice, and we only just picked up a little bit of engine damage from the heat soak, so that's something to keep an eye on. Probably need a little bit more radiator opening on the car today. But all things considered, the car seems to have been running really, really good. So, other than some long-term engine wear and tear potentially building up with this setup, the car feels pretty decent, all things considered, which is really, really good. Alright, LMP2 guys finally starting to make their presence known on the minimap, so we can see where they're heading. And so they might get to us before the end of the race. We'll have to wait and find out, but definitely potential. There we go, some GTD traffic there in front of us that we should be able to get past here before the end of the race, which will be fun. Nice and easy on the turn here. Let's get back after it here. You can see the rubber build up on the track ever so slightly, not a whole lot, but a little bit of build up. So that's changed how the track is driven a little bit, not a whole lot. So that's pretty cool, seeing that line slowly build up as we've gone along. Yeah, see, for that section there, we can really kind of get our temperature on the car to really cool off a little bit. So being able to learn where you need to be able to just let the car kind of coast through, but still make the best lap time, to able to get a little bit of cooler temp on the car. That's important to know. Catching up to one of the McLarens here from the GTD group. Riding the caboose today. Haven't had any cars wreck out, so no one really being overly aggressive on track, racing side by side or anything like that. Not sure what lap times we're running. We might get one more lap before the timer goes out. We'll have to wait and see. A little more nose damage there doing a crossover on the McLaren. Didn't really mean to do that, but a little bit, not a whole lot. Nice and aggressive through there, and yeah, we ended up having 3 more degrees of temperature in the car by doing that through that track section. So yeah, if you really just coast through that section, you can really kind of cool the car off a little bit, and then go back to it through this section here. And because you have some on throttle, off throttle time, that really kind of helps keep the engine on the cooler side. So that's interesting too. Keep an eyeball on for future racing. Alright, looks like we want to have one more lap here before the timer goes out. Let's see what that does to the amount of laps. Right, there we go. Timer's still going. Crossover move on the Renault. See what the timer says. There we go. That's where the timer is 000. So I'm going to assume that we're going to have a final lap hit this time by. Have to wait and see here. That's what I'm assuming is going to happen. Aston Martin here in front of us. Get past him here. Ooh, got one of the Cadillacs out here racing. That's cool. I don't think I've driven those Cadillacs a whole lot, but that's such a neat looking car. Yep, nice looking Cadillac. Nice. Alright, get past the Cadillac here, nice and clean. Steer to the outside. Alright, let's see, coming to the line. We're going to show. What we're going to show here. Yep, one more lap to go here. Presented by Combustion Gamer Gear. Keep yourselves hydrated. There's some of the drinkware available only at the Combustion Gamer Gear. Check it out. LMP2 guys have finished their race. One guy's already in the pits. And this will be our final lap here. As we run. You guys on pit road. here we go. That is it. Race is over here at Circuit of the Americas. We finished 11th. Very, very nice. Good race day here at Circuit of the Americas. Enjoy the track. One of the nicest tracks out here. And a lot of fun to run. So I got a lot of good information on where we can run on this track. Kind of let the car kind of coast through certain sections. That kind of saves us on engine temp. So that's good to know. Yeah, nice race day. Hopefully you guys enjoyed. We got to get this car back to the pits here, but all things considered, I enjoyed the race. Still need to get the AI a little more competitive. It's like it goes from one extreme to the other, so we've got to continue to work and fine tune on that. See what we can do. But anyways, this has been our IMSA series here with Project Cars 2. Hopefully you guys enjoyed. We'll see you guys here next time with the Combustion Gamer. Next time. Bye-bye. Yeah, this is a good looking car. I love this thing. That's right. We won here in our class. Woo!